Athletic directors at big-time schools get fired for two reasons. Number one, scandal. Number two, losing football games. Regardless of what anything else is said, those are the two main reasons. Nebraska has fired athletic director Shawn Eichorst. Ron Green, the chancellor, stated, "We can win football games. We should be winning." He also stated that it's about competitiveness in all sports at Nebraska. That's not necessarily the case. We know it's about football at Nebraska, and the Huskers have not been winning. That's what Nebraska President Hank Bounds had to say about competitiveness in all sports. Okay, let's look at Mike Riley's record. Is he the next one in line? Nebraska off to a horrible 1-2 start. Yes, it's only 1-2, but consider a narrow win against Arkansas State, looking lousy in the first half, basically getting blown out at Oregon before making a late rally to give it some window dressing at 42-35, and then the incredible loss at home against Northern Illinois and throwing all those interceptions in all of these losses. Mike Riley took over from Bo Pelini. Bo Pelini was winning 9 and 10 games a year. In fact, 67 and 27. He won over 71% of his games. Yes, he lost embarrassingly in the Big Ten Championship. He couldn't beat Wisconsin for the most part when it counted, and Bo Pelini was ushered out of town to be replaced by Mike Riley at a football school where they care about winning. Well, Mike Riley is sociable, he's likable, he's a nice guy, he's the mayor type. But he didn't win at Oregon State. Granted, a difficult place to win, and he did win on occasion, but 54% over 14 years, while Bo Pelini was getting the job, depending on your standards. Are these new Nebraska standards or these old Tom Osborne Nebraska standards? I don't know that any coach could live up to those, but considering what Bo Pelini produced and what Mike Riley is currently producing and what the outlook looks for 2017, a difficult ride for Mike Riley and looking at his possible stay long-term in Lincoln. 6-7 his first year. That's always forgivable. The first year of adjustment. 9-4 last season. Got off to the hot start. Was 7-0, top 10 in the country. The schedule was backloaded. He got beat up down the stretch and finished 9-4. And now 2017 looks like a debacle at this point for Nebraska football. So Riley, yeah, the nice guy, the likable guy, and Bo Pelini, surly, sarcastic, ornery, wasn't well liked, but in comparison, he won football games, 6 top 25 finishes, most of those around 15th in the nation. Nebraska has an amazing tradition, but they're kind of disconnected from the tradition in terms of reality now. It's difficult to recruit to Nebraska. There's not a whole lot of football players outside of the offensive line and defensive line positions in the state of Nebraska and the surrounding states. So what is realistic for Nebraska football? They still have tremendous resources in terms of facilities and money. Who would you like to see coach the Huskers? Who would you like to see more recently be the athletic director in replacing Shawn Eichorst? Mark Rogers TV talking Nebraska football. We invite you to join on in.